You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints. Absolute Radio.
So they'd say, have you got a match? And you'd say, not since Errol Flynn died.
Oh, I see. I don't understand.
Well, you know, Google it.
Tell me later.
Hello. This is Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio, and Not the Weekend podcast with Emily and Gareth. I've got that moment, you know, when there's a newsreader and you think, oh no, just cough, don't try and talk through it. It makes me very anxious.
Have you got a cough button?
Cough button?
Yeah, you have a cough button, so you press the button, then you're allowed to cough.
Oh, I thought it was some sort of confectionery.
Does that exist?
I thought that was a
Cough
BOMO
button.
term for cough sweet, a button.
Yeah,
a cough
call
button.
me.
I quite
Let's go and buy
like
some
that.
cough buttons.
A cough button sounds like something that would get touched in a school medical, if required. I'll tell you what, listeners, if I may call you that, is that we all went out for lunch. I mean, the whole team, all five of us, and
You all had carbs. It was great.
yeah, and
You didn't have any chips, but took mine.
well, let's not go through the meal blow by blow. But anyway, we were talking, and Emma, our producer, had been on a 10-mile walk, was it? From Birmingham to somewhere else.
The driver let them down.
We've got a bus, yeah.
It was, and she went with her husband, which is, nice. And I said, my first question was, did you hold hands? And you did, didn't you, Em?
Yeah.
What percentage of the journey would you say?
80%.
That's 8 miles. And was it in 8 miles and then at the end it trailed off, or did you relax now and again just to de-sweat the palm and then return? Was it intermittent?
Intermittent.
Okay. So we were talking, that got us onto the whole, and I've been thinking about this, about the holding hands. It's a tricky, I mean, I think you get to an age where holding hands is not... If I hold hands now with my girlfriend, it looks a bit like I'm being led.
I know what you mean.
And it's not so good. And I'm haunted by the image of Mr. Orchard,
Who's
our
that?
school teacher,
Right.
who brought his...
He used to hold hands with you.
No, he brought his girlfriend to a school hockey match. And I remember the way he walked on with his hands behind his back, right? He's one of those people. So when he was with his girlfriend, he still had his hands behind his back, but he had the index finger of his right
I don't
hand
like
was
it.
extended, and she just held on to the index finger.
I actually cringe when you say that. It's
Now,
horrible.
I thought there was some dark imagery for a school-based event.
Yeah.
So she was just holding this one...
Must have looked like she was
Horrible old...
using him as a puppet.
Do you know what
Okay.
I don't like, Frank, about the hand holding? I'm not a big fan, I have to be honest.
No.
I mean, I am quite cold. I just don't
Cold
like...
hands, warm heart.
No, cold heart.
Okay.
But what I don't like about it is that for the man, I would say, quite nice, lovely, little dainty, delicate, manicured paw. For us, great big old lamb shank we've got to grab hold of. I don't like holding the male hand. I have to be honest.
Really?
It's large, it's cumbersome, I won't have it.
I never thought of that. Sometimes it's gnarled.
Oh,
I mean, I
often
don't
in my
suppose-
case.
I don't suppose you know any manual labourers, but I mean, when I was a kid, every bloke
I've
I
had
knew,
rough trade.
yeah, they all had really bashed up factory hands. Everybody, but you don't see that in London, of course.
Do you know what I hate, Frank? The hand in the back of the jean pocket. Not a fan
I
of
won't
that.
have that. And the trouble is, if any money goes missing, then there's always a doubt.
Like my grandma always used to say that her and my grandfather, he'd hold her hand and then put both hands in his pocket.
What, a front pocket? Oh,
A
dear.
front pocket. Think
Wow.
of a coat, not of
horrible.
jeans.
I don't know if she should have told you that.
No, probably.
I think that went down as courtship in those days. Here, now
Where did
it's
they
to be
meet? In an
sexual
escort
harassment.
agency? Oh, I don't like that.
And I don't like the arm round the waist. Some people walk like that. I think often the
I hate
insecure male will put his arm completely around the woman.
Oh, is that what it is? Because
yes,
I
it's
had
like-
an ex-boyfriend that would... I felt like a toddler on reins. He would grab hold of me around the waist all the time. I couldn't roam
We're
free.
talking about in the street now, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. No, I don't like... And some people, they'll put their hand around their shoulder, you know.
Yeah.
No.
What we're saying is we're not very demonstrative.
I think probably it was ingrained in me as well when I was a philanderer that I never used to hold hands, because if any woman said to me, someone told me they saw you with some blonde-haired woman in Hampstead, I'd say, no, I was... she was trying to overtake me and I was fending her off. Yeah, whereas if you're holding hands, you've got no backup.
You're banged to rights, as it were.
You never know who's going to come round the corner. That's the philanderer's motto.
Well, you've got celebrity concerns as well. Obviously not anymore.
Meaning?
What do you mean?
No.
Oh,
That's very
Old
insensitive.
Frank
I
is
think that we could have built up to that
No,
point.
Frank.
It was like a
I
solar
meant-
plexus punch.
Yeah.
I meant you
As
got...
developed by, I
Frank.
think,
Please, will you let me...
gentleman Jim Corbett.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
No, what I meant was you've got no concerns in the thing of being discovered because you've been in a long-term, very happy relationship.
Well, that's true.
So you don't mind if someone sees you with Kath?
I would have thought that Twitter's completely put a stop to the celebrity affair. But anyway.
No, it hasn't. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, so no, I'm not sure. I mean, you're a married man, Gareth.
Yes.
Would you and Laura hold hands on the front? I mean, at Bournemouth.
All right. Sometimes we've got a little boy now, so sometimes we
he
hold
swings.
hands with
He
him.
swings
He
in the middle.
swings.
Yeah.
Or the problem is though, he hasn't got the hang of holding hands because he will just get distracted by something and stop in the street and start walking in another direction when you're holding hands.
Can I just say, Gareth, every time I've seen you with Laura, you've been holding on for dear life,
Yeah,
which
well,
is rather
I
sweet.
Need to make it work.
Yeah.
I've done well. I've done really,
Yeah,
really
you
well.
have
It's
done
good
well.
if you're married and still holding hands. I think
Oh,
that's
it's romantic.
Yeah, that's a good sign. And what
Desperate.
about? I'm not. My girlfriend sleeps about as far away from me whilst remaining in the same bed that it's possible to do as well. So we don't even. You know, when you see people in films and they sleep entwined.
Well, this is the thing.
No,
And I mean, traditionally, the cliche goes that the woman wants to cuddle
Yes.
at some point, if you know what I mean.
Not in our house.
No, but after events, women like a little cuddle. That's what the...
Or like
that's
the
what
coronation, things like that.
people say. Yeah,
Yeah, the Lord Mayor's show. I think.
exactly. And the man just wants to go straight to sleep.
No, well, it's not like I'm on about when we just, you know.
No, I know, when you're just sleeping, but then
Yes.
that's what that merges into the
I
cuddle.
tell you what I don't like. You know, sometimes you roll over in the night and you're facing.
Oh, I
and
hate facing
I don't
them.
like the breath on the face. I will not. Sometimes, even with Kath, sometimes she's got this very intense breath through the two nostrils. It's like being drilled. Yeah, I don't
It's like
like the
being
breath.
next to a shire horse.
I won't have the breath on the face.
I don't like sometimes, I don't like to look at them. I mean, that sounds bad.
Well, it's dark.
No, but I know what you mean. I don't like falling asleep.
I thought you'd look at them just to refresh your memory.
Well, there is that. But I don't like anyone looking at me when I'm in the act of falling asleep. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm wearing a gimp mask, so that offers a little privacy. Now, we've got a bit of a special moment here. It's a British premiere, because some of you will remember Garrett's amazing David Mitchell.
Yeah.
In fact, could we have a reprise of that just to set this up?
A little bit of David Mitchell. It's a bit impromptu, but I'll do my best. You have to get into it, and no, it's not working perfectly, but is that okay?
Yes, yes. David Mitchell as Charlie's aunt.
Yeah.
But you're working on a new one.
Yes, I've been working on it. I've got a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little deep. So I'm just gonna.
Excuses before we've even.
You sound like an X Factor contestant.
Would you like to hear my Jedward?
Yes. Do you
'Cause,
do you do both? Or?
Well, it's good because it's two birds with one stone because they
How do
talk
they
the same.
actually speak, though? I don't know how they speak.
You don't know how they.
Oh, I would if I heard an
Was
impression that was
ITV?
good.
I
I'd
haven't
recognise.
really.
Exactly like this. Exactly like I'm just about to. So
Okay.
I'm going to read from there was an article in this week's
Okay.
paper that they've finally started spending their money.
Yes.
They spent £20,000.
I read that on memorabilia.
Yeah, memorabilia. From a China-based Icons Auction Legends site.
China-based, with a Chairman Mao commemorative plate.
Yeah, there was some sea-stained trousers from the long walk.
I go, it's really good stuff. No one else in the world has it. We bought a Britney Spears suit. She wore it in a Pepsi commercial. We got a signed limited edition Michael Jackson doll and a signed bedsheet of his, also signed by Macaulay Culkin. Which is a little... Anyway. We also bought some outfits from Batman, like the Riddlers and some clown thing.
I like it.
It is. There we see. You think you don't know how they speak, but when you, that's
I love
absolutely,
it.
absolutely excellent.
It's got the panic of youth as well, which I
Panic
like.
of Youth. A novel by Beryl Beck. I haven't said that for a long time. Since she's died, it doesn't seem right. I don't know why.
The fags got to her in the end.
No,
Is that
they
right?
talk. They
She
talk.
shouldn't hang around with them. Cilla Black will go the same way. She's been warned. And also, there wasn't there a I can't remember what it was. There was an Ethan story.
Yes.
You got a
hinted
letter.
at.
Ethan's first letter.
Oh, Ethan's first letter.
Yeah.
Very
That's always a
exciting.
big moment. I still remember my first letter.
What was it?
Well, I was a big fan of Dennis Law. Do you remember Dennis Law?
Glad
the
you said Dennis
footballer?
Law. I thought you were going to say Dennis Nielsen.
Yeah, Dennis the Menace, they called him.
Oh.
And I wrote to him and said, can I have your autograph? And he sent me back a flyer for shredded wheat.
Wow.
Because he was on the cover of the shredded wheat packet, and he just folded up a leaf, shredded wheat leaf. It had the printed autograph on it, printed on it, not written on it. And he just sent me that. So he sent me an advert for shredded wheat.
Wow.
Very
Well, it's good
emotional.
advertising, grassroots advertising.
Yeah, it's
Very
it's
effective.
interesting, sort of one-on-one approach rather
Oh,
than
it's
blanket
horrible sending a
advertising.
child a promotional thing. It's
I know.
disgusting.
But, these were less enlightened
I remember my
times.
first letter. It was a royalty check. Anyway, tell me about Ethan's.
Well,
I think you've missed reality is how you
that's-
pronounce that.
Oh, no, I never got one of those, Frank.
Still waiting. I
Yeah.
think that was lost in the post. So what
it
was
was quite official looking, and it was awkward because he's 15 months old. And so do you?
Can
do
he
you-
read?
Can you open other? No, he can't read. He
What's wrong
can't.
with him?
He can say words. He can say the odd word, but he's quite. He can't. They're not supposed to be able to talk. He's advanced, but he can sort of. He started saying no quite a lot. He's learned how to say no.
I've never learned how to say
So-
that.
If you ask him,
Yeah,
if you ask him any question, say no, no. But then if he means yes,
Yeah.
so you would you like to read this book? And go, no. Would you like to read this one? No. Would you like to read this one? No. You sure? Yes.
oh, okay.
And he'll say,
So if
"But then-"
pressed.
but yeah. They,
Okay.
So yeah.
So yes,
So I opened it for him, and
is that legal?
I don't know, but
I don't
Never
think-
stopped my parents.
Well, I don't think I'm not sure
Yeah, I was
you're
gonna
allowed
say.
to open someone else's mail legally.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he,
was it from Shredded Wheat?
well, it was bad news.
Oh.
It was bad news. Library books are overdue.
His
Oh,
library
God.
book.
Yeah. I mean, you try to bring them up as well as you can, but
Still, he's
what
young.
can you do?
He's young yet.
Yeah.
So
We feel partly responsible.
yeah.
So are they sending him a fine then?
No, you don't get fined if you're a child.
Well, that seems unfair. Different
Well,
rules
he's
for
got no
different
income.
sorts.
He's got no income.
Well, get one then. Not hanging around.
That's true.
if the
your
library's
baby
only
grow.
fine
Go,
people out of
no.
income.
Get a life.
That's like he gets offers, but he goes no.
That's what he said when
Like
they
to be
offered
the
him
new
job
Day of the
seekers
Triffids.
allowance.
No.
He went, no.
Well, he wants to watch. He doesn't get asked if he's available for work. So he'll lose his benefit
Yeah.
if he
exactly.
says no. Yeah. Do you get child benefit for him, incidentally?
We do, yeah.
That's,
Will-
that's
will
a
you keep
hoary old
getting that?
subject.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, good.
Well, if the Tories have anything to do with it, the condemns.
We can't get into politics.
Sorry.
No, I
can't
don't think we
get
can get into. I mean, I don't know what Absolute would say if we got into politics.
Exactly.
It'd be an absolute scandal.
We don't know what anyone voted here.
I'll tell you what happened to me recently. This is a genuine, and I don't want to play to my stereotype, but I was sitting at home looking at the Premier League table, at which point West Bromwich Albion were 6th.
Oh, yeah, because you're doing quite well, aren't you?
And I'll tell you what I did. I found myself just looking at it with a warm glow, savouring it. And I realised that I'd been looking at it, I would say, between 4 and 5 minutes. Just blissed out. And it's a lovely thing because it's, people think that you have to go on a big flash holiday and all that to be happy. But often it's the simple things, isn't it, in life? Would you agree?
I would.
I'll
I
give
love
you,
things like that.
I'll give you an example. Sometimes, if I'm upstairs in the evening and I think I've done my eating for the day now and my drinking, I don't think I'll drink again now, so I don't want to be weaning in the night. I think while I'm up here, I've done my eating, I'll clean my teeth now. So I clean my teeth when I go to bed, knowing that they're already clean, that I don't have that to do. I feel absolutely missed out. I think, teeth already done. When you remember, sometimes I've gone into the bathroom, reached for the brush, and I thought, this is a bit wet. Teeth already done.
Done it already.
No, I do that at the moment because Ethan brushes his teeth after breakfast, so I brush them at the same time.
Oh, he can brush his teeth. He can't get a job, but he can brush his teeth.
or take his library books back.
Yeah.
So I'll hold him by the mirror and show him, trying to get into it, because mostly he just sucks the toothpaste off the toothbrush. But I'll do it. And then later on I think, I need to brush my teeth. And no, I don't, because I already did it while Ethan was brushing his teeth. So.
Why don't you get Ethan to do yours as well while he's at it?
He does try, but usually
Yes, I can see he's been doing it recently.
Yes.
Do you know what I love? No, not that. I like it when I've been out, got all my clothes, and the best thing I like doing, I get undressed, and then I like to get straight into my Jimmy Jams.
Ah, yes.
I don't like to ever wear clothes in the house, only Jimmy Jams. So as I put them on, this is really embarrassing. When I was a kid, if something was nice,
Yeah.
I would say, I had this little thing, I'd go, nine, if something's nice. So I still sometimes will put my Jimmy Jams on and I'll say aloud to myself, I'll go, nine, because I feel all nice in my Jimmy Jams. Oh, I love it.
I do that thing, if I decide I'm staying in,
Yeah.
then I'll put my floppies on. You know, you just get tracksuit
that?
bottoms and a big baggy top. The floppiest clothes you can possibly get. Not a buckle, not a belt, not a zip in sight. Just floppy. The floppy material. But on the Jim Jam subject, another great joy of mine I found is if I wake up in the night and I really, really want to urinate.
Oh, I hate
which
that.
is sometimes fine. I'll fight it. I think I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I'll fight. I'll try and get back to sleep, and it's getting worse and worse. It's like someone's got my innards in their clenched fist. And eventually I'll go, no, I'll go and do it. And when you come back from having done that, knowing that you've done it, there's an inner glow, isn't there?
Well, it becomes like a chore on the to-do list, doesn't it, I find?
Oh, but when it's
feel like
done, you
you've
really
ticked it off.
feel that you've knuckled down and done something.
Yeah.
Of course, in my drinking days, I just went there. But I find that blissful. Also, I only shave every other day. And when I wake up in the morning and realise it's a non-shaver, it's another job.
that's nice.
It's the little things.
Yeah?
I maintain that. Something I think might bring me pleasure is that the BBC are going to start showing women's boxing.
Yes, I read that. And also, because is it that woman Jane Couch? She is a famous female celebrity boxer.
From Blackpool.
Yes. Now, didn't she fancy you or something? I remember some...
Well, I don't know how much of this I can tell. She was on my chat show.
That was it. I remember that you knew her.
And afterwards, she was very friendly in the green room.
Oh, it's all gone a bit summer nights. She got friendly down in the sand.
She asked me, I don't know, let me think now what I can say. She asked me if I'd like to go to see her fight in Copenhagen. And she said you can.
did she?
She said
Wonderful.
you can go as entourage.
Did she? What's
she said-
entourage?
Well, I think it's entourage.
Oh, is it?
But and she said she'd put you down, and and
I thought that was some gladiator or something.
yeah, and
Into rage.
yeah, she was. I didn't. I mean, I can imagine she was in great shape. She was still fighting at the time, but
She had the sort of...
I'm not allowed on the couch.
Oh.
No, but I did. To be honest, it's
You'll be sleeping on the couch if you finish this anecdote.
yeah, you're right. But she was. But I have seen women's boxing. I was in Las Vegas, and Frank Bruno was fighting Mike Tyson. I wasn't just there for the hell of it. I went for that fight, and on the undercard was two women fighting.
Wow.
One of the things, there's no defence in women's boxing at all. They basically just stand there about a foot away from each other and just punch each other really
Power
hard.
punching. They don't bob and weave.
Yeah, so I went to... Because they used to weave in the old days. That's all they did. And I went to the press conference after, and Don King introduced this woman, and she says she's a really knockout lady in the sense of good-looking as well as hitting people in the head. I remember he said. But it was all right. You'd think it might be a bit unnerving to see women really hitting each other hard, but it was fine.
Oh,
Well,
I
you've
love
never
it.
been out in Cardiff. I used to live in Cardiff, and if you want to see women punching each other, that is
Yes.
the place. Go out in the evening there.
Well, I once...
But in an organised way.
I once saw two women having a fight, and a lot of blokes was gathering round laughing. I don't know, I've told you this before, and I say that a lot just lately. Let's just accept I occasionally repeat myself. And they started off slapping and all that, and all these... And suddenly, one of them, big loop earrings. Loop or hoop? Big hoop earrings. She grabbed the two hoops and just went...
Oh, she didn't.
Yeah, and
That's not Marquis of Queensberry either.
No.
I won't have that.
And her earlobes just sort of went... and there's a lot of blood in an earlobe. That's why they take it. So that was a scary moment. I've seen women wrestlers.
Oh, God.
There used to be a woman called...
Yeah, but that's on pay-per-view channels, those high-up ones.
no, this was... it was every... I think it was every first Thursday at the Hen and Chickens on Wolverhampton Road. It was Grab a Granny night on Wednesdays. And the wrestling on it.
Is that not a sort of wrestling as well?
Well, it could be. Lovely breakfast. There was a woman called the Black Widow who used to have like a leotard and a mask with a big web going up.
I bet that
big
I've
gold.
seen some action. Oh.
She used to come on and do the most elaborate V sign I have ever seen to the audience because she'd get booed. She'd do a V sign that started just above the wrestling boot and ended about 3 feet above her head with one mighty swooping V sign.
Oh, I'm imagining her as a sort of female Shirley Crabtree.
Well, she wasn't that. She was big, but she wasn't obese by any means. She was a imposing presence. And then there was a woman called Miss Cleopatra, all the way from Egypt. That's what they always used to say. I remember Miss Cleopatra, all the way from Egypt, once saying to the referee, "You going to tell her I ain't taking no more of that? I'll smack her in the face." And I thought, it's not the Nile Delta. It's got people from all over.
I love a bit of boxing, though, Frank. I do
You
boxing.
do box, don't you?
I do it with, Brown, my celebrity trainer. He's got a new celebrity client, by the way. I don't know if I can say. I might get in trouble.
Don't tell us.
Oh, I don't care. He does Clive Owen. So it's me,
Wow.
Ivor Badil, and Clive Owen. That's quite good.
Who is that?
Clive Owen?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's like a massive film star. He's,
Yeah.
he's gorgeous.
He's in Children of Men.
Closer.
Did you see that one? Closer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They
Not
thought
only
it was gonna
do
be
I not know him,
James
I know...
Bond.
I know. Oh, did
He
they?
was going to... Yeah. I'll
That
show you
was
a picture
Ken
of
Dodd,
him.
wasn't it?
Ken Dodd. But anyway, so Brown and I do boxing. Oh, I'm so good at it. I love it. He said I had a very impressive reach. Don't look at me like that. It's my arm span.
No, I know what a reach is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Because you're quite... Oh, I think there's a mathematical formula for... I think your reach is the same as your height, if I remember right.
But I'm little. I'm small. I'm a bit Maradona proportioned. I've got little pistons, though.
I think we are the same from head to toe as we are from extended arm, fingertip to fingertip.
Is that right?
I think that's right. According to that, that diagram of Leonardo, of the man standing with his arms outstretched. Well, the height, it's a circle, so the arms outstretched is the same as the height.
Oh.
Do you see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, do you remember, I watched the programme, the thing we talk about on this programme is Idiotic Eureka moments.
IEM.
When something, you realise something very late in the day. And we were talking about this Channel 4 thing about Prince Harry getting kidnapped by the Taliban. And I said they should have called it When Harry Met Ali.
I love that.
But then I thought, that rings a bell, actually. And then I realised there was a programme called When Harry Met Ali, which I've actually had on Sky Plus for about 3 months, about Harry Carpenter and Muhammad Ali. And I'd only just got that pun by a sort of strange
That's a good IEM.
roundabout. So I watched it last night.
Oh, did you?
What it didn't have was one of my favourite boxing clips of all time, which
Yeah.
was, I think, Alan Minter fought... was it Marvin Hagler? It might have been. And Harry Carpenter saying, and this I've never seen scenes like this in a British box. There's bottles being thrown. This is an absolute... Oh, and I've been hit on the head by a bottle. It was absolutely wonderful.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I love the late Harry.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Treebor Soft Mints, bringing a softer, mintier feel to your Saturday morning.
Absolute Radio.